Welcome into the Los Angeles Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Marshall Green. NBA trade season is here. The rumors are on fire, and we're already seeing some movement across the association. Bradley Beal has been traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns. And a guy that we're going to talk about in today's video because The Athletic has linked 6 different players to the Los Angeles Lakers. Sounds like Kristaps Porzingis could be heading out east and be a member of the Boston Celtics. This is what The Athletic had to say. They said names around the league that have been linked to the Lakers in recent weeks include Indiana's Myles Turner and Buddy Hield, Brooklyn's Dorian Finney-Smith, and Royce ONeal, and Toronto's Gary Trent, as well as Washington's Kristaps Porzingis, according to multiple league sources not authorized to speak publicly. So Gary Trent is opting into his last year, and Kristaps Porzingis is on the verge of being traded to the Boston Celtics. So we're not going to focus too much time on Gary Trent or Porzingis. Obviously, the Lakers could still trade for Gary Trent. Very similar situation as Porzingis. Porzingis knew that he did not want to be a member of the Washington Wizards going forward. And by opting in to the last year of his contract, it actually makes him more tradable if it were to be a opt-out than a sign-and-trade. Sign-and-trades were really tough on the money, and Gary Trent could follow that same model if the Toronto Raptors look to tear it down, as it sounds like Fred VanVleet may be a Philadelphia 76ers. So we're not talking about Trent and Porzingis. Let's talk about the other 4 guys that were mentioned in that Athletic write-up. Number 1, a player that I'm a huge fan of, is Myles Turner, the big man for the Indiana Pacers, who just put together his best season in the association. Played in 62 games, which is good for him. He's had some injury troubles, and the injury bug has followed him around throughout his NBA career. But he played in 62 games, only missed 20 games, and he gave you great production. 18 points per game, which is a career high for Myles Turner. 7.5 rebounds. He's also giving you 2.3 blocks per game. He's been a guy that has led the league in blocks per night for a couple of years now in the association. And he's also given you great efficiency, 55% from the deck, and a really, really red-hot 37% from downtown. And he was shooting like 3 3-pointers per night. And we know outside of point guard, big man depth is probably the biggest hole and vacancy right now in this Los Angeles Lakers roster. Anthony Davis is not comfortable playing that big man 5 position at full time, but he does do it pretty often. He does it well. What about a front court of Anthony Davis and Myles Turner? You bolster up the rebounding. I think you get better on the defensive end, and you don't lose much on the offense where you have AD playing the 4 compared to the 5, because Myles Turner can score and is a threat to score pretty much at every spot on the court. Going to continue to have that spacing on the offense. I really like the idea of the Lakers going out and making a move for Myles Turner. I want you guys, though, to turn on the Xbox or the PlayStation, pop in NBA 2K, and grade Myles Turner as a player for me. If you don't know how their rating system works, 1 means you're the worst player in the NBA. 100 means you're the best player in the NBA. So grade Myles Turner as a player. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. When you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down and grade Myles Turner as a player. The second trade target we're going to spend some time talking about. What about Dorian Finney-Smith? Good old Dodo, former Dallas Maverick, was moved from Dallas to Brooklyn in that Kyrie Irving trade. And when he was with Dallas, he was one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA. There were even reports that after he got moved from Dallas to Brooklyn, that a team offered up 2 first-round picks for Dodo, and the Brooklyn Nets said no. The thing is, he saw what life was like without Luka Doncic, where he didn't get open look after open look, and his numbers really started to fall off a cliff when he started to play for the Brooklyn Nets. And they declined 2 picks for him at the NBA trade deadline. I don't think that's the cost for Dorian Finney-Smith anymore, and I honestly don't even know if I believe that the Nets declined 2 first-round picks, because if they did, that wouldn't be very, very smart, in my opinion. A trade idea, though, that could have Dorian playing for the Los Angeles Lakers is one that I don't really like all that much, but this is what it would have to be if they actually are interested in Finney-Smith. What about Rui Hachimura, who you made a great trade deadline move for? Shout out to Rob Pelinka, and also a first-round pick. I think that would be the cost. I wouldn't do it, though, to be honest with you. I would like to keep that first-round pick. I'd like for Rui to develop a little bit more, younger than Dodo. I'm a fan of Rui. I really like the mid-range pull-up game that he added to his bag and showcased in the playoffs. but maybe you do want DFS on the Los Angeles Lakers. But if you can only pick one, Dorian or Rui, who do you want? Type DFS for Dorian Finney-Smith or RH for Rui Hachimura. A player that has been linked to the Lakers time and time and time again. What about Buddy Hield, the sharpshooter from downtown, the scoring guard for the Indiana Pacers? I've always been a fan of his game. I like his ability to score. I think he's an underrated playmaker as well, but he's really started to make his money in the NBA as being a knockdown three-point specialist, and that's what he was this past year for Indiana, getting up over 8.5 three-pointers per night and knocking them down at a 42.5% clip. That's one of the best in the league, especially on that volume. He's also a 17-point-per-game scorer. Not sure Hield makes the most sense for the Lakers if you have Austin Reeves. Let's say you don't want to pay Austin Reeves, which I don't think the Lakers should do. I think you keep Austin Reeves. You do whatever you got to do to bring him back. But I don't hate the idea of Buddy Hield. I mean, imagine Buddy Hield in that Beasley role instead of Beasley. I mean, they made a move for Beasley because there was a need for another shooter from beyond the arc, and he just wasn't a guy that can knock down that shot consistently when he became a member of the Lakers. But you sub out Beasley, you bring in Buddy Hield. That's a big upgrade, and I really think that would help. I wouldn't go all in for Buddy Hield, and I'm not sure I would really have too much interest in him if you brought back. But if you could get him and play him in the starting lineup or a six-man off the bench, have a flamethrower that can catch open looks in the half court with LeBron James, I'm not going to be mad at it. You always got to get more shooters when LeBron James is on your team. We got one more player to talk about in today's video, but I want to let you guys know about the NBA draft coverage that we're going to have for all 58 picks on Chat Sports. Go to youtube.com/chatsportstv. That's youtube.com/chatsportstv and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you are alerted when we go live for our NBA draft coverage. We'll do so 2 hours before pick one gets announced. Hang out with us, informative, entertaining, great content, and there's no Taco Bell commercials, so subscribe and we'll see you then. The last player that the Athletic linked to the Lakers was Royce ONeal, kind of similar player to Dorian Finney-Smith at this point in his career. I really liked Royce ONeal when he was a member of the Utah Jazz, and I really like the way that he started to evolve his game. He can really play the 2, the 3, or the 4. He's a good small ball 4, a tenacious defender. He's got that ability in his bag, but the reason the Lakers are linked to him is because he can knock it down from deep, 39% the last 2 years, and before that, 38.5% and 37.7%. Good role player who can play multiple spots. That's what you want as you're trying to build this team, build teams in general around star players like the Lakers have. You need guys that could do a little bit of everything, and he's a player that would fit like a glove next to LeBron and Anthony Davis. Good perimeter defender, guy that can knock down shots, high basketball IQ. Just a good player, winning piece. I'd like to see him on the Lakers. I'd be cool with any 4 of these guys, to be quite frank with you, but is there one that you need to see in a Lakers uniform this year? Which one of these guys make the Lakers that much more better? Sound off. Pick one to trade for. Type 1 for Myles Turner, 2 for Dorian Finney-Smith, 3 for Buddy Hield, or if you want Royce ONeal in LA, type 4. And remember, join us tomorrow on Chat Sports for our live coverage of the 2023 NBA Draft.